Welcome back, everybody. Let's take a break with Stephen Shamus.
Good to see you, my friend. I'm in a cave. I'm in a warehouse.
Yeah, you look like you're in a comic fan. Like it's the perfect comic fan basement.
I'm in a bomb shelter. Looks like
You're in a bunker.
a bunker.
You're in a bunker.
I need a cot. I need canned rice,
canned goods. Yeah, somewhere behind you, there's giant pinto beans in cans.
I'm in an episode of The Last of Us. That's what.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
All right, what do we got tonight, Alex?
We're going right back to some Quantumania with one more character. We're going to talk Jentorra. We're going to talk about one of my absolute favorite comics, Criminal.
Hard to believe we haven't spoken about that yet.
I am so excited. I've been chomping at the bit. We're going to talk Wytches, the Jock and Scott Snyder book that's been out for a while, but there's some buzz there. And then Eve Stranger, which are probably a comic you've never really heard of.
Correct. All right, what are we starting with today, Alex?
Jentorra, Quantumania's breakout minimal star.
Yeah. All right. So talk a little bit about Jentorra, Alex.
Yeah. So Jentorra is a character who is in the microverse world of Marvel, who perfectly is in the right spot. She was from the planet Kai. The kind of switch here is she's really a Hulk character. She was the niece of the queen of the world, who was like in love with the Hulk, who visited this micro world for a little while. We see her in Son of Hulk, the Realm of Kings stuff, and she, instead of bringing Hulk to her world, she brings Scar, and they have an adventure. Nothing really crazy, but this is one of those things where anything that was in a micro world, that's where we were seeing in Quantumania. So they were just finding characters, and this is one of them.
Right. All right, cool. So first appearance is 2010, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Realm of Kings, Son of Hulk #1. It's an Alex Garner cover from April of 2010. There are 5 9.8s. It's about an $8 to $10 raw book. Scott Reed story, Miguel Munera and Terry Pallett art with a Michael Golden cover. I'm sorry. The Michael Golden cover is the 1 in 20 variant edition.
Right.
There's only 2 9.8s of those, and those are $20 to $30 raw. All right, what do we got next, Alex?
Criminal. Been waiting a long time for this one.
Yeah, how did we miss this? How did we not talk about this?
It's always been a popular series. It's never been a super expensive book. It's never been a book where collectors were. I mean, I collect them all and keep all my singles. But it's not a book where people have just been, clamoring for. It's very highly printed. It's a book about crime. It's a bunch of criminals and their lives, and all the stories kind of intertwine with each other. And it's written by Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips, who were coming, I wouldn't say hot off of their Image Wildstorm stuff, but this really kind of put them on the map of their creator owned large stuff. And funny enough, it was a Icon. It's a Marvel book for a little while, and then it went to Image, and it's just been going on forever. And now Brubaker and Phillips, I mean, we're going on almost 20 years that they've been doing these kind of books, and it's just nonstop hit after hit after hit.
Yeah, and now it's going to be an Amazon series, it looks like.
Yeah.
Right.
So Amazon's picking up, which is great. Yeah.
You like that?
I mean, yeah, this is the best thing about these books, they're just stories about criminals that intertwine. There's no oh, they got his hair wrong, or that costume is missing. It's no, you put the name in there, the same kind of basic crime story. There's no supernatural stuff. It's easy. And there, yeah, you have it.
Got it. Okay, so Criminal #1, October of 2006. It is a long time ago, from Icon. Sean Phillips cover. There are 4 9.8s. I'm surprised there's not more of that, considering, like you said, it's a very popular storyline.
Yeah.
$15 to $20 raw. It's a wraparound cover. Ed Brubaker story, Sean Phillips cover and art. Criminal series. The second series of Criminal #1 is from 2007. Second Chance in Hell. It's a zero pop book. It's a $6 to $10 raw book. And the reason why you want to check out all the different series number ones is because when they do the Amazon series, you're not really sure where they're going to pull where they're going to pull from, right? What the source material is going to be. Then there's Criminal The Sinners, #1, from September of 2009. There's only one 9.8. Hard to believe the pops are so low on these books, by the way. $3 to $5 raw. Again, these are all Ed Brubaker stories with Sean Phillips cover and artwork. Then Criminal The Last of the Innocent, #1, June of 2011. Two 9.8s. It's a $3 to $5 raw book. And then Criminal #1, from Blue from January of 2019. The cover is blue. That's why I said it. And there's four 9.8s with a $4 to $6 raw book. And the second print is a purple cover with a 0 pop, $3 to $5 raw. So you want to pick up all these books. I mean, I know you said they printed a lot of them, but you just don't know which storylines they're gonna pull from.
And if this is any indication, like if this stays a series and goes past it, I mean, you're talking like boys type series where every season you're going to get a new character. Well, every issue, every #1, you got a new character in the whole series of Criminals. So yeah, pick them all up. Small pop report. Interesting.
Very, very small, considering that you're right. It has been such a popular series for such a long time. You would think that the pops would be way more than that, right?
Yeah, I think it's because it's not a superhero book, right? It's not something.
Wait till it appears on Amazon, and then
that's it. Yeah. She said about The Boys, right? The Boys wasn't a big book collector book for years.
Yeah. All right. Alex's pick of the week. What do we got?
I love stuff. It's funny because I was walking around Disney with my wife a few months ago. And we're Disney people. Like, we go to Disney. I don't say we're Disney people, but like, we like Disney. It's fun. We go on rides, we drink, and then we leave. Now we live so close. But we were looking at these like people carrying all these like giant plastic buckets, and I was like, what are those? And we had no idea. Come to find out, they're popcorn buckets. And Disney does these like limited edition popcorn buckets, and they're huge. They're like plush toys, but they're plastic, and they fill them full of popcorn. And I was like, wow, everybody's got one. I wonder what's going on. And someone was like, oh, they just released a new one today. So everybody's buying it before they sell out. So of course, what did I do? I go online and I start looking it up. And these popcorn buckets, I mean, these are really thin plastic popcorn buckets, and they can go from anywhere from $25 to $70 to $80.
That's funny.
And it's just like, because they're limited edition, right? So they're these giant, crazy large buckets, and they're like Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, and it's like a big action figure. It's huge. Do they just put popcorn in it, and then you take it home, and now it's worth money? It's crazy. Like the Disney collectors are serious, and this just goes to show, like, even popcorn buckets are worth some money. It's funny.
All right, what do we got next, Alex?
Wytches, which is an older Image Comics
with a Y, which is with a Y.
Wytches with a Y, Wytches. If you want to get technical, it's Wytches.
So talk to us a little bit about it. Is there a reason why it's Wytches with a Y, or is that's just being clever or funny?
It's just being clever. I don't think that there's anything to do with,
nothing to it. Okay.
Yeah, not that I have remembered when I was looking around, other than just being called Wytches with a Y.
Got it.
Wytches.
So do you know what the storyline's about there?
Yeah,
it's
so
be Amazon animated series, by the way.
Amazon, yeah, which I think was picked up for a movie and then pushed around, and now it's going to be an Amazon animated series, which I don't know if it's cheaper. It might not be. But it's a family who their kid has a bully, and then the bully goes missing, so the family moves towns to kind of get away from this weird, like, we think she killed her and nobody knows where the bully is, and they go to this other town, and this other town has these witches in the woods, and the whole town knows about them. Most of them know about them, and you can pledge to a witch, your loyalty, and they will do stuff for you. Like, they will kill people, they will do things. And it's kind of this story about this family, and then the daughter who gets, has these witches coming after her, and she runs into a guy who's a long history of killing the witches, and then, like, the townsfolk come after them, so like she pushes the pledge on these town folks, and they all die. And it's just,
this is not an animated series for kids, then?
No, it will not be an animated series for kids, then. No. Very much, if it doesn't come out on Halloween, I'll be very surprised, because it is a spooky type book.
Clever. Okay. Wytches #1 jock cover, October of 2014. There are 589.8s. Big difference from Criminal, right? That's about $150. Scott Snyder story, jock cover, and art. Then there's the Francisco Francavilla Fourth World Comics and Toys Edition. There are 46 9.8s. Believe it or not, I could not find any for sale, but that's a $35 to $40 raw book. Then there's a Cliff Chang CBLDF edition, 19 9.8s. Again, I couldn't find any. Those are $30 plus raw. Then there's the Dustin Wen Convention edition, which is impossible to find, 66 9.8s, but that's $100+ raw. Then there's the Bill Sienkiewicz Ghost variant cover, which you actually can find, 43 9.8s. That's about a $150 book. Then there's the Becky Cloonan Hastings edition, 16 9.8s. That's a $20 to $25 raw book. Sean Murphy Midtown Comics edition, 66 9.8s. That you can also find. That's about $80 in 9.8. And then there's a second print Jock cover, 49 9.8, and that's about $150. So there's some good prices on those, Alex, if you can find those books.
Yep. They've been a hefty for a little while.
Yeah. All right, Alex, what are we closing up with tonight?
Eve Stranger.
Right, going to be a BBC series.
Yep. Love us some BBC.
Interesting. By the way, I love BritBox.
Oh, BritBox is one of my favorite things on earth. I mean, I only watch Doctor Who on BritBox, but the rest of the stuff looks really good.
Death in Paradise is my favorite.
Death in Paradise. I did watch the first season and a half. Man, that show's gone on for a long time.
13 seasons, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
All right, so talk to us a little bit about Eve Stranger. Talk to us a little bit.
Yeah, this is Eve Stranger is an IDW book under the Black Crown imprint, which is probably some of the best stuff they've done in IMHO. But it's about it's a person, she wakes up every day with amnesia, and she's got a letter that she has written, written to herself, and she had a gun and briefcase full of cash, a used syringe, and it kind of tells her okay, this is who you are, this is what you're doing, and this is what you need to do to you have to do this thing, you have to kill these people, or you're going to die because you've got nanobombs in your bloodstreams and they can activate it. So every Friday this is what happens. She wakes up, she has no idea who she is, she's got these instructions on what to do, and she continues on. And it's that kind of continuation, like a Groundhog Day for her, not knowing who she is, but knowing she's got to do these things every day. Yeah. Which again, BBC series. So
interesting. Okay, cool. All right. So Eve Stranger, number 1, May of 2019, Philip Bond cover. There's no pop on it, $10 to $15 raw. And then there's the Clayman 1 in 10 incentive cover, also no pop, $20 raw, very, very hard to find. So I would start picking these books up now. They're from 2019, so they're only 4 years old.
Yeah, you can go snag them.
It's going to be on the BBC, and for $15-20, you can own all the books.
Yep, totally.
Great. Well, thank you for joining us today. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the field below. Otherwise, we will see you next week. Same bad time.
Same bad channel.